Few things bring me more pleasure than cooking.
Gosh, that's great, isn't it?
And eating.
That's a bit of all right.
But there are certain dishes that I just can't get enough of.
I'm going to show you some of my simplest, mouth-watering recipes.
That are warming and comforting.
Merveilleux, merci.
And after braving the elements,
You can do better! Come on, come on!
what could be better to come back to?
That looks just like a hug in a pan. This is the food that makes you feel that everything will be all right. The North Yorkshire coastline is stunning, no matter what time of year.
Rugged landscapes, breathtaking shorelines, and hauntingly beautiful villages. This is the perfect place to wrap up warm and tuck into some very comforting food.
And what better place to start than the ancient seaport of Whitby?
Steeped in history, every corner gives a clue to Whitby's famous past. The Gothic ruins of Whitby Abbey inspired Bram Stoker's novel Dracula in 1897. Just over a century earlier, Captain Cook launched his colonial expedition from this port, which was already a centre of the whaling industry. Nowadays, Whitby is still famous for its fish, mainly the kind that comes in batter with a side of chips.
Gosh, there's a gust of wind out there.
Hello, Mary. What can I get you?
I'd like cod.
Cod and chips, yeah.
Cod and
no
chips would
problem.
be perfect. So how long have you been here?
We've been here for 20 years. I think there's more fish and chip shops in Whitby per square mile than anywhere else in the country. And I think we unofficially call ourselves the capital of fish and chips.
Have things changed in what people want when they come to a fish and chip shop?
I don't think they have, really. You all remember as a kid coming for your chips, that nice smell of salt and vinegar and, you know, the sea air, and I think, you know, I don't think you can beat that, really. You know, I think that's why I love it. I'll see how yours are getting on, shall I?
All right.
As a third generation of his family to work here, Stuart has fish and chips running through his veins. Good thing too, as in high season, they can get through a ton of potatoes a day. That's a lot of chips.
Right, there you go, your fish and
Oh,
chips.
Stuart, that looks amazing. And as I look round, it even tells me which trawler the
Yeah,
fish came in.
we like to know where everything's from. So full sustainability and traceability, which we've been doing it for quite a while now.
And I bet you don't cook your chips in lard anymore. What do you do with them?
Beef dripping.
You use beef
Yeah,
dripping?
we're very traditional here.
Right.
Right,
That'll
thank you
keep
very-
you going for a bit.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much.
Just what's needed on a day like this. Gosh, that's good.
But if deep fat frying is not to your fancy, I have the perfect fish dish to warm you up. My haddock and shrimp feast.
All in the one dish, beautifully comforting and wonderful flavours.
This dish starts with a hot pan, a little oil and some butter. Simply sweat down 2 onions and 2 sticks of celery.
And I'm going to keep turning it, and I want to cook it for about 10 minutes to really soften it well. Meanwhile, I've got some mushrooms here. They're chestnut mushrooms. I'm just going to slice them. It's best really not to keep them in the fridge in a polythene bag. Always put them in a paper bag. They keep better. Now just look in there. You can see it's sort of taken a greeny, translucent tinge. So in go the mushrooms and then the garlic.
Season and stir for a couple more minutes. Then add 225 grams of long grain rice. Give it a good mix before topping up with 600 ml of hot vegetable stock.
Then, very important, some white wine. Now, you know how I always slop it in straight from the bottle? Well, I'm not, because I want to get the exact amount, and in here I've got 200 ml. That's it.
Once it's bubbling away, put it in the oven at 160 fan for 15 minutes. When the time's up, the rice should have absorbed all those wonderful flavours.
So there's still just a bit of liquid there to finish the cooking. And I've got this beautiful haddock here. I'm going to put a little bit of pepper and salt. If you're nervous of cooking fish, this is a simple way of doing it. It'll cook in the steam that comes up from the rice, which will be full of flavour.
It just needs a final flash in the oven to cook that beautiful fish.
Gosh, it's heavy. There we are. So that's had its 10 minutes, and it should be exactly just like that. It smells beautifully fresh, the smell of the sea.
All that's left is to finish the rice. First, in goes some baby leaf spinach.
Just listen to that, it is so fresh. In that goes, just stir that in.
I'm going to allow that to wilt for a couple of minutes in the steam, then add the juice of a lemon, some chopped dill and parsley. Perfect companions for the fish.
It's going to make it vibrant green. I'm going to loosen it down with cream, and yes, it's double cream. This is a feast. So stir that in. Do you know something? That's perfect.
Now, all that's left is to bring this dish together. To top it all off, add some heated potted brown shrimps that are dripping in melted butter.
This haddock and shrimp feast is something very special and perfect on a miserable day. It's heartwarming and it is absolutely scrumptious. When I'm at the coast, it's a great excuse to have an ice cream, but this is certainly pushing it.
Still, I'm told the local ice cream is not one to miss in these parts.
I'm sure there's not much business today.
Day like today, it's not very good, Mary, and it's cold out there, so come on in, let's have a look and see what we can do here.
That's the best thing I've heard all day. Now, what to choose? I'd like to try a boozy one.
Well, this is the boozy one. This is the amaretto black cherry.
I might have to have quite a bit of this to get me going. That's a bit of all right.
Well, the one that a lot of people come to see especially for is our Whitby Jet. And we've called it Whitby Jet because it is a black ice cream. Because we have lots of goths in Whitby, people that dress in quite dark clothing, and it's all to do with Bram Stoker writing the Dracula stories here.
In fact, each year Whitby is the host to several goth festivals which attract thousands of people from all around the world. So to celebrate this heritage, the ice cream makers decided to turn their rich vanilla black by adding a little charcoal.
If I shut my eyes, I think it's a vanilla ice cream. It's just the colour that rather frightens you. But I'll have another go.
Talk about playing to your audience.
Goodness gracious me. Now, they make special Gothic ice cream here. Yes. Would you like me to make you one?
Oh, yes, please.
I'm quite nervous about this, so no criticism, please. Look, it's even a back cone. Right, firmly down, then round, and... This is the original model here. There you are. And you can eat the cone as well.
Bye.
I thought that when I let go of that, it would stop, but you had to push it right up. It's all very well for you to laugh. It's not easy.
This town has such character, and my next stop really encompasses the traditions that it's so famous for. Up this little cobbled street is Whitby's only smokehouse, and it's a real gem.
Hello there.
Hello, Mary.
I've had no difficulty in finding you. I've had this delicious smoky smell all the way up the street. Gosh, this looks as though it's been here forever.
This has been used for about 100 years. The original smokehouse we had was behind us in the cliffside there. We were established about 1872, so it goes back 5 generations.
So it's a true family concern.
It is a good family concern, yeah.
And tell me, why are kippers always sold in pairs? I've never understood that.
We've sold twice as many.
Oh, that's clever, isn't it? Almost looks sticky.
This is a natural build-up from burning the oak, and then the fish oil's dropping onto the fire, and it's just a natural process, and it builds up and coats the smokehouse.
There are loads of kippers here. Do you smoke other things?
We do. We'll smoke haddock, salmon, but the kippers we can turn around in about 24 hours.
And do you do natural smoked haddock?
Everything's
undyed?
natural. Everything we do is natural. All that we add is salt and smoke, and that's...
Very
that's
simple.
all. Very simple.
But the right thing.
It works. It always has worked, yeah.
Barry salts then smokes up to 800 kilos of herring every week. After around 18 hours in the smokery, they become kippers. He uses a mixture of oak, beech and softwood, which gives the fish its distinctive flavour and golden colour.
I'll duck underneath these kippers.
Right, yeah.
I've often wondered what those little holes were in the top of a kipper, that's the hooks that they hang on.
Tenterhooks.
Tenterhooks.
Yeah, tenterhooks.
Is that where the term tenterhooks come from?
Tenterhooks, yeah.
You learn something every day,
that's right.
don't you? Right, are we going to light the fire?
Yeah, let's get it going.
The fires are topped with sand, which helps to smother the flames, encouraging more smoke, a method unchanged for 140 years.
Shall I just pop it over there?
Yeah, that's great. You did the job. You come back tomorrow.
And how long does it take for this fire to die down?
A few minutes. We need to close the doors really now because it's just going to take too much.
I just love the smell. Isn't it lovely?
It's a pleasant smell, wood smoke.
And also it's jolly warm.
It's not like
blooming
it's cold outside. That'll do. We'll close the doors.
Right, OK. Out we go. Avoiding the sticky door. God, it's quite heavy. Oh, I wonder how many times these doors have been shut in the last 100 years.
Probably more times than I could count, Mary.
But I think we've left a cameraman locked in.
Please get Rob out.
All right, Rob.
I'm amazed you didn't delegate that.
This smokehouse is the perfect inspiration for my next recipe.
I can still smell smoke in my hair. That was such fun in the smokery. And there's nothing I like more than a smoked fish pâté. This is not something I do every day in this glorious background, but I couldn't be happier.
The base of this smoked trout pâté starts with 50 grams of soft butter.
Pop that on the back. Seawall, perfect place to put your leftovers. Then I'm going to put a couple of these anchovies, and they give it a real bite. So there's one going in there, and 2. Juice of half a lemon. That's it.
Give it a quick mix until everything is combined.
That's fine. Some dill, lovely fresh dill, goes well with all smoked fish. I'm keeping an eye on those seagulls. I can remember doing a picnic by the sea, putting it on the wall, calling the family, and while my back was turned, my lovely open sandwiches had been snapped up by the seagulls. You can just go away.
To really layer up the flavours, in goes a tablespoonful of hot horseradish, some salty capers, and 100 grams of full-fat creme fraiche. Don't forget the chopped dill.
In that goes. So on with the lid again.
Give that another blitz until smooth.
That's it. It looks perfect.
Now for the star ingredient, that mouth-watering smoked trout.
There's something about smoked fish. It is beautiful smell, and with all those other ingredients and the lemon and the dill, it'll be beautiful. Last bit of fish going in, and then I'm going to put some seasoning in.
Give it one final mix, but not too much. You still want some texture from the fish.
That's just as I like it. The pink flecks of the smoked trout, and then lots of the chopped dill. It looks delicious. That's a bit of all right. There you have it, smoked out patty with dill, and I love to serve it with pickled beetroot. I can think of nothing nicer in this glorious sunshine with the sea behind me.
Just up the coast from Whitby is the seaside village of Skinning Grove. It might be small, but they've got something big going on.
Tonight is Guy Fawkes night, and I've been invited to a unique bonfire party by the sea.
Hello, Mary. How lovely to meet you. Welcome to Skinning Grove. I'm so pleased that you've come.
You're so pleased, and there's nothing I love more than a bonfire.
But let me introduce you to Kirby.
Hello, Mary.
Hello, Kirby.
And this is Tina, one of
Hiya.
our...
Hello, Tina. Oh, I don't mind about that.
Every year, the young and old in this tight-knit community come together to build an extraordinary bonfire. There's always a special theme, and now it attracts over 5,000 people.
So this year's theme is based around the greatest showman.
It turned out that the tallest man in the world came from here.
He was 8'6".
I beg your pardon, nobody's
Yes, he was.
8'6".
It takes 2 weeks to build the structure, and I'm just in time to help with the final bits.
I have to give you a hat. We all have to wear hats.
Well decked out for it.
Yes, look.
Right. Fits like a glove. So it sounds as though it's a real community project.
The children in the local schools, they've made lanterns to decorate the other side so you can see the children have got something to say that this is their bonfire.
And it brings the whole community together, and this is the highlight of the year.
And it seems almost this village is in the middle of all these hills. It's very special.
It is very, very special. OK, Mary, you've got the honour of hammering in the very last nail. So here's the hammer.
Here's the hammer. Oh, I'm not very handy, but I'll have a go.
And there's the nail.
All ready for tonight. Right, I'll keep my hands well apart.
I think that'll do.
One more one. That's it.
OK.
Tonight is the night.
Yes.
I can't wait, but what I'm thinking about right at the moment is my favourite warming bonfire food.
And my next recipe would definitely fit the bill. Smoky firecracker chicken with stuffed jacket potatoes, perfect to hand drowned around the flames. For the chicken, I'm going to make a smoky, sticky marinade that will give it a real kick.
First of all, I'm going to take the smoked paprika. I really like it for something like bonfire night. Not only does it give a good colour, it gives a lovely sort of smoky flavour. 2 tablespoons of that.
The same amount of Worcester sauce.
It gives it strength and potency. And then a touch of sweetness from maple syrup, 2 tablespoons, easy to remember.
Add 6 tablespoons of olive oil, and to give it a bit of fiery heat, just a few drops of Tabasco and 2 cloves of crushed garlic.
It's a gorgeous deep red colour.
Season the chicken, and then it's time to get them into the marinade.
Look at that. I'll just get one hand messy. That's it.
Once every drumstick is coated, they will need at least 30 minutes in the fridge, ideally overnight.
The longer you leave it, the better it is. While the chicken's marinating, I'm going to crack on with some baked potatoes.
I've already baked mine for an hour in the oven, and they're ready to fill. Scoop out the centres and give the potato a quick mash before adding butter.
And just a little bit of milk. As my husband says, you can't have a little bit of milk or a little bit of wine. It's a drop.
I'm adding soft goat's cheese, roasted red peppers from a jar, and a generous handful of chopped basil.
The aroma from this basil is absolutely lovely.
All I need to do is to load it back into the potato skins.
It's amazing how much you can cram in. They look good even without putting them in the oven.
There's lots of different fillings to make for these. I've also done pesto, parsley and parmesan mix, bacon and mushroom topped with cheddar cheese, and spring onion with sour cream and a sprinkle of paprika. Those just need a drizzle of oil and 15 minutes in the oven until the skins are crisp and the filling beautifully golden. Back to my chicken.
There we are. They've had 30 minutes, and now I'm going to roast them.
Here's my simple trick to fit them all in.
There they are, looking like soldiers. There's still a little marinade left in there. Shame to waste it, so let's just pour it over the meaty part. Like that. That's it, they're all well coated.
Those go into a hot oven for about 30 minutes until golden and sticky.
They really look amazing, and the smell, oh.
How's that for a bonfire feast that packs a punch? As the sun begins to set, the excitement is really mounting. The crowds are starting to flood in from up and down the Yorkshire coast. I'm joining Kirby, one of the organisers, and her family. It's such a privilege to witness this community spirit.
They're all ready for action here.
Action, yes. You can see as we're leading down to the bonfire, it's getting really busy now.
Right.
It's getting close to the time. What are you looking forward to most?
I think really to see the first of the fireworks going up, and then the bonfire. I mean, it'll be rather sad to see all that wonderful work go up.
In one respect, but it's also enjoyable to see it burn because it's such a brilliant structure. And I don't know, it comes alive when it's on fire.
I love the way the whole community has come together to make this event happen.
It must be nearly time, and it looks like I'm doing the honours.
I'm going to hand you over to somebody who's going to give you a countdown. So we all want to do a really big countdown.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. Wow.
That was good, wasn't it?
I love the magic of a bonfire night, and my last recipe is one from my childhood that I want to share with everyone here.
This is my granny's gingerbread. I never knew my grandmother, but I was brought up on it. It's perfect for bonfire night.
First, make the rich syrup. This will bring a special depth of flavour to the sponge.
100 grams of butter in first, 100 grams of light muscovado sugar. Then we come to golden syrup, 100 grams, there it is. And lastly, black treacle. 100 grams again.
Melt the ingredients together on a low heat until they are all combined and running off the spoon.
Just putting that to one side to get cool. Now to the dry ingredients. First of all, 225 grams of self-raising flour, just a teaspoonful of bicarb. Don't be over generous with it. And I've got 2 tablespoonfuls of ginger. It really is quite gingery. And a teaspoonful of mixed spice. That's the sort of spice you put in Christmas cake or Christmas pudding.
Give those a quick mix together. And now for the fun part. Pour the slightly cool buttery syrup into the dry ingredients, add 1 beaten egg and a drop of milk, and mix well.
In autumn, when it comes back to having things like gingerbread, gingerbread men, all those warming things. So give it a good beat and then add the rest of the milk. So rarely I use a wooden spoon, but I was just thinking of my mother, who didn't use a mixer. She always did it with a wooden spoon. So that's beautifully smooth. It's a batter consistency, and all I've got to do is to pour it in the prepared tin. It smells wonderful, strong smell of ginger and spices. It really is simplicity itself. That's it, everything's in there.
That will just need about 35 minutes at 160 fan until it shrinks away from the sides and has a beautiful shine on top. Cool in the tin and simply cut into squares.
The warmth of the ginger will cheer everybody up. It is so moist and soft and springy. Do you want another one? Who likes ginger cake? Come on. Help yourself. It's pretty good. It's warming. There we are.
Thank you, Mary.
All right.
Well, that certainly seems to be going down well. And now, what we've all been waiting for.
Just look at that, it is amazing. What a wonderful way to end my stay here.
Next time,
That smells amazing.
I'm indulging in the best of winter comforts.
I don't think anyone could say no to this.
Dishes that will warm the heart no matter how cold it is outside.
Bet you've never seen anything like that before.